Hello everyone, welcome to the preview show delivered by FedEx. From NBC Sports, Marty Snyder is here with us. I'm Alan Cavana. We're heading to Texas for race 2 of the Eliminator round. 1 week, though, after Dale Earnhardt Jr. kind of threw us a curveball by winning in Martinsville.
Junior Nation.
Yeah, I mean, I could still hear him screaming.
I know, yeah.
But unfortunately, Dale Jr. is no longer still in the chase, which means, Marty, that 2 spots now in Homestead, at least 2,
Absolutely,
are going to be determined by points. How much does this change things for the next 2 races?
Well, it changes things quite a bit. You know, it's funny, Jeff Burton and I were talking about this in February, and he told me this is going to be a points race to the very end, and he was exactly right, you know, and it certainly opens things up. So if you're a team now who's maybe more points racing, you think about Matt Kenseth as well, these guys who haven't won this year, it certainly opens the door that, you know, you could see a Kyle Larson win this weekend at Texas and open up another spot. So I think it makes guys feel a lot better that there are point spots open, but I think there are certainly going to be guys that get in via wins, you know, but it is very interesting that Junior now wins. And because you only have 8 drivers, it certainly opens that window more for non-chasers at this point to win races.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the points because, again, none of the 8 drivers remaining in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup are guaranteed a spot yet in Homestead. Jeff Gordon, though, in the point lead right now, followed by Ryan Newman, Joey Logano, Matt Kenseth. They're on the left side of your screen. On the outside looking in right now, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, and Kevin Harvick. Marty, Denny Hamlin finished 8th in the last race, and he still finds himself on the outside looking in terms of points anyway. Do you think it's going to take that kind of standard, a top 7, a top 5 the rest of the way to make it in at least the top 4?
Well, when we originally started talking about this round, we were saying you needed to win in order to advance to the next round, and Denny told me after the race at Martinsville, 8th is unacceptable at this point. That's a lot of pressure, especially for the Gibbs teams. They're putting a lot of pressure on this weekend. They should be pretty strong at Texas. If you look at Matt Kenseth and Denny Hamlin, they've run very well at Texas in the past. Both former winners at that racetrack. You look at Kevin Harvick and his race team. I talked to Rodney Childers earlier this week. He told me we must win at this point. Brad Keselowski clearly in the same boat. And so a lot of teams putting pressure on themselves to win. But to the point you made earlier, Alan, I think if you can get a couple of top 3 finishes, you might be able to point your way into this final round at Homestead.
All right, and that brings us to this week's social pick of the week. Which of these 3 drivers has the best chance to win in Texas? Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, or Kevin Harvick? You can vote at NASCAR.com/social. Now it's time for us to pick some winners. Marty, maybe you want to answer that social pick of the week because who are you picking to win in Texas?
I'm going to pick Kevin Harvick because I just think under the pressure that they'll do well. I think they're going to bring so much speed to these next couple of races. Harvick is bringing this weekend the car that won Charlotte a couple of weeks ago, so I know they'll be strong. I know they'll have the speed, and they were pretty tough to beat at Charlotte a couple of weeks ago. I think Harvick is going to be very tough this weekend, and I think under the pressure, the team is going to do very well, and they're going to put themselves into the Homestead finale.
Yeah, we saw what Brad Keselowski did under pressure in Talladega, so certainly Harvick may be able to pull that out. I'm going with Keselowski's teammate, Joey Logano. We watched him there win earlier this year. Really, the 22's been, other than 24, the 22 has been performing this entire chase. And he's had a win in every round. Why not get a win in this round?
And I think that's going to be interesting. You mentioned the day-night thing. We have the time change this weekend. It's going to end under the lights. So it's going to be a different racetrack at the end of the race than it is at the start of the race. And I think that sometimes gets lost on teams a little bit, you know, because you don't think about that. You don't practice at night, but it's going to finish at night.
That's a fun curveball. You know who wins? All the fans do. When teams are scrambling.
Right.
Marty Snyder, thank you for joining us. And thank you for watching the preview show delivered by FedEx. Have a great weekend, everybody.